Oh, priceless! See that? It beats telling Heineken beer is great. And that's called juxtaposition. And then the technique they use is actually called analogy. So they trick you by showing, all the women showing their wardrobe, and actually men also do the same thing. Alright, but this time right, they do beer. I think it's the best advertisement I ever see. On top of the, I think it's a MasterCard. That one is because it's very, what do you call the music? And also the guy, I don't know, I just thought that it's the music. After I go home, I keep what's that song? Then previously, before that was Kushimbo. Kushimbo, dong dong dong, 1, 2, 3. We are Kushimbo, remember? So music has a certain way of hypnotizing the person as well. That goes with your body, your sound, right? So all that. The third one, number 3, do something that gets you into the mood. Very important. Get you into the mood. All of us have different styles of getting into the mood. Gurmit Singh, you know how to get into the mood of doing big events? He do push-ups. He do push-ups, yeah. I got inside news. Irene Ang, you know what she do? I tell you, okay? She will go in front of the mirror, right? She'll start doing funny faces. Hee-ha, something like that. That's what she do, ugly faces, doesn't matter. Because that's how she relax her faces and that's how she get into the comedic mood. I used to do this. One time my friend said, okay, I need to get in the mood. And I was nervous. He said, don't worry, look at fish. So I stand there and look at fish. The only thing that came in my head was, oh, I'm hungry. So it didn't work for me. Looking at fish doesn't work, it doesn't calm me down. Alright? So what I did was I went to play arcade. Because there was an arcade machine there. And I was like, oh, play. After I feel so in the mood. Right? So that's what I do. Right? That's one way I get myself into the mood. There's another way. I have a lot of idols. Okay, I mean, I don't chase after those celebrity idols, but I chase after a lot of very powerful speakers, comedians, because I always aspire to be a stand-up comedian one day. Like Hossein Leong and Kumar is my fan, right? Not that, I want to be like them, you know what I'm talking about, but I love their humor. I love their presence. And what I usually do is every time I come up here to do keynotes or workshops on humor, I will always watch my favorite stand-up comedians, Dane Cook, Russell Peters, and they'll make me laugh and I'll go, I want to do the same thing. And so in my head, it's like I'm thinking, I want to make you guys laugh. And that's how I get myself in the mood. Can you see that? So there are many ways to get you in the mood. Another way is, tell yourself how important this presentation is. You really want to give value. You really want to entertain them. Come on, put in so much effort. It's time to show, the better fruits. So whatever gets you in the mood. Cool? Some of us listen to music. Some of us do dancing. Right? What else? What else gets you in the mood? They say? Eat up. Some you eat. Eating helps. For me, I can't eat. I have to always speak hungry. Yeah. Because you know why? I take apple. That will be the most embarrassing. Right? So anything that sets you in the mood. Okay? Whatever it works. You can do anything you want. Some of you will start chanting. Some of you will start talking to yourself. Anything. Right? The last one. Anchor yourself in a positive experience. One of the reasons why people are nervous or not confident about themselves is because, in public speaking is because they have not succeeded yet. So it's very important that you quickly succeed. You quickly find an opportunity where you can do well in public speaking. Agree? Alright? And so the thing is that anchor yourself in a positive mode. If you have a successful time where you deliver a speech well, alright, people clap, let's say you're great, I want you to remember the experience and remember that, hey, I actually did well before. So when you set yourself in a positive mode, when you come out to speak, it will help. Alright, if you have no successful public speaking experience, don't worry. I'm sure there are opportunities where you feel proud of yourself. You feel excited about something. Remember the experience, use it. The same thing. Can you imagine that? So last time in the past, right, I would imagine like my children, right? Because my children. I used to teach in a primary school, for fun. And I would imagine my students, my children, like Care Bears. So cute and cuddly. So I would speak like Care Bear. And that works for them. Of course, I won't do that to you guys. You think, oh my god, this guy is wonderful. Right? So you won't do that. So you always want to get yourself, in the right frame of mind. Cool? So that's a bit of visualization. Alright, so of course the bonus tip where I want to share it with you is this. The more you rehearse, the less it will look like you rehearse. A lot of people will come to me and say, hey Eric, cannot rehearse too much. Must make it a bit off the cuff. Not true. Because when you're nervous, you'll be more than off the cuff. You'll forget everything. You'll be off the rail. So you got to make sure that you practice so much that it becomes in your head. So even you're nervous, you still able to flow. See that? Rehearse. Stage time, stage time, stage time, stage time. Follow? Alright? Okay. That's all I have for you. 7 tips. Can you still remember the last few tips? SHARP, what does it stand for? S H A R P. Very good. And then PowerPoint. Remember, how many ideas per slide? 3 points. Very good. And what's the rule? 10 slides, 20 minutes, font size more than 30. Alright? What else? Use few fonts and clip out our photos. Photos, very good. And then of course, in terms of confidence, get flash time with your audience. Number 2, memorize, internalize, practice a lot your introduction. Number 3, get into the mood. And number 4, frame yourself in a positive experience. Alright, so this is how you get yourself in the mood. I have to say I'm going to miss you guys. We're wrapping up soon. I don't know, I suddenly miss you guys. Because I hope, oh no, it's going to be over. Alright, okay, so, sorry, very impromptu. Okay, see, that's the best thing. Now, how do you know that you're in flow? It's like all of a sudden you just feel so charming with the audience. Like, even though, I don't know, we have not met, some of us we've never met before. Right? Some of us we met probably once. But it will come at a point in time where you get in the flow that you actually really connect with your audience. Your audience phone is on, and you're actually talking to them directly. This is when connection begins. Right? Correct? Okay. Now, I have some time, so before we do give you more information, let's take a few questions. So, number 1, we kind of covered that already. Number 2, we covered that. Number 3, what should you do if you blank out halfway? It does happen. So, the good thing to do is you have a piece of paper. I sound weird here. Very accurate. Now, you have a piece of paper that have an outline. Right? Remember the PREP format? So you write your points that you want to cover, just your points. And you put it on a piece of paper, just put it beside you or put it in the card, put it in your pocket. Alright, every time you get lost, just pause, take out your card, and just find a trigger point. So that helps. Okay, be calm, it's okay. Alright, sometimes pausing is great. So if you really want to look good, okay, if you forgot something, do not look like you forgot. All you need to do is ask a rhetorical question. So for example, I talked about swine flu, I forgot what's the second tip that I need to give you, right? I probably will go, so the first thing I told you was wash your hands, right? Wash your hands. When was the last time you actually wash your hands before you eat? And I like your thing, and then I remember my second point. So that's how you can distract them with it. Okay? Alright, last time, right, someone actually taught me this, but please don't use it. Close your eyes and imagine yourself washing your hands. Alright, don't do that. I have a student who wrote the notes on the hand, but the problem is when you're nervous, you start to, and then when you're nervous, you start to, the script is on your face, right? Number 4, how do you engage tough audience? Now, it really depends on what you mean by tough audience. A lot of the toughness is reduced when you do your homework. Meaning to say, you find out who exactly are your audience, you find out what are their concerns, you find out what are things that cause them to even want to listen to your presentation. When you start to answer questions like that, you will reduce the uncertainty that you have about the audience. Okay? Now another thing you can do is this. If let's say you do a presentation, you want to find out who's your toughest audience. Probably someone of authority, someone who is holding a certain position, or someone who might have more knowledge than you about the topic. And if you have that, then you want to make sure that you pay special attention to your presentation. That you want to make sure that you don't say something that will cause the person to say, hey, that's wrong. So that causes you to be more alert mode. Okay. Now, if you ever face hecklers, you know what hecklers? People who try to say something negative about you or try to destroy your whatever you're doing. All you need to do is to stay calm. The trick to deal with hecklers is stay calm. If you react, they win. So, for example, someone says, hey, you know what you're talking about? They pause, they say, alright, maybe you want to explain a bit what you just said. So you be very calm. Alright? The good thing is that if you're calm and you don't scold the audience and insult the audience, alright, the rest of them will be with you. Because they